Welcome back to day 3, everyone. Cologne, Germany. So let's take a preview look at what's going to be offered during this episode. The first thing that we're going to look at is the Old Town. Second is the St. Martin Church, and as well as a pretty famous Gothic masterpiece, the Cologne Cathedral, as well as 6 Christmas market. We're not going to look at all of them, but the big ones for sure, and including the night view, obviously, right? Guess what, everyone? We are here. So as we're docking, why don't we take a look at the preview of what we're going to be doing today. Unlike day 2, we are pretty active the whole day, being in Cologne since 10:30 a.m. docking, and this is going to be the longest day that we can be on dry land until 10 at night. So this is the only day that's doing that. If you're planning on taking this trip and would like to have some nightlife, this is a night to do it until 10. So after this preview, why don't we begin? And then he looked right through me as if I wasn't there. Okay, so here we are at day 3, Cologne, Germany. This morning, starting at 10-ish, we started a walking tour at Cologne, Germany. So this is exactly what a walking tour is like. If you're looking at us right now, we're being divided into different smaller groups depending on the size of the tour, the size of the city. So every time it's going to be different numbers of people within one tour. The bridge that was just shown, they actually have tons of locks on it, and apparently for lovers, it's according to a story that if you put a lock in there, write your initials, I believe, and throw the key into the river, your love will be forever and ever. And because of this story, a lot of people are doing it, and it's completely packed apparently. So these are some churches that we're seeing. So as soon as we docked, we're pretty much in the core already. There's not much walking to be done today. Everything is around 10 minutes away from each other. And if you look at the space behind me, there's a reason for why it's blocked off and nobody's walking there. It's because below there's a concert hall. And unfortunately, the German engineering didn't work out all that well here because they kind of forgot about it. And when people walk past that field, they're gonna hear all the sounds. So, guess what? We're here at the Great St. Martin Church. And one of the biggest Christmas market of the 6 Christmas market is actually located right next to church. Two main attractions here. One is a church that took 632 years to build, and another city hall. But when in comparison, when you look at the church, it's just so much grand, like so much better, so much bigger than the city hall, which is puny. So it's quite a contrast. It's kind of interesting to see how religion and the government, it's kind of shaping throughout the years what it's like, and the church is just magnificent. Like some of the stained glass, it's like hundreds of years old. The way that they're cleaning it, each section apparently takes around 2 years. Like one of these small sections, each aisle, it takes 2 years to clean because it's thin and it's filled with dirt. So you have to clean it both sides and just look at how many there are. So it's really magnificent. Right now, when they first anticipated building this church, their intention is to build the biggest and largest at the time, but because it took them so long, over 600 years to build, apparently by the time that they built it, another bigger one unfortunately has already been built. But if you look at the craftsmanship, basically the efforts and everything that was put in building this church, it's really amazing, and if you can visit it in person once in your life, I'd highly recommend it. And although it's not the same visiting a church of this magnitude over YouTube. However, why don't I let you have some quiet time and experience it yourself? And looking at these roads always amazes me that how long it can last and still be used today. So, the Cologne Christmas Market. All of the Christmas market pretty much sell all of the same thing, at least similar. The store you're looking at, this candy store, was slightly more unique in the sense that it is actually making candy in front of you. So maybe not all 6 of them will have it, but within the 14 days of Christmas market, you're definitely going to find a couple of similar items that are being sold. And the reality also is that the things being sold here are not cheap at all, like these candles, candlelight holders. It's around 10 to 12 euro. The cheapest I found maybe was $8. But since it's made in China and seeing on the wholesale side that it's only $3 local currency versus around 10 euros, I've decided to opt out and not purchase it, although I was looking my entire trip. And I was told that somewhere Budapest might be the cheapest, but in the end, it's actually around the same. Slightly maybe, but not actually that dramatic. From what other passenger told me, I think these clocks might be handmade locally. So where we're at is another Christmas market. This is definitely, I think this might be the only place that I saw it during all the Christmas market. They're making smoked salmon, 8 pieces in total, and it's kind of interesting how they make it right in front of you. And if you're taking Viking, this is probably going to be the first market that you hit. But everywhere that you're going, don't worry, there are maps and it's very easy to navigate and maneuver throughout the city. Guess what? Here's another Christmas market, the third one. But this one contains an skating rink. So, if you want to spend some time, some relaxing time, do it here. We're at a shopping street here, and the best thing about River Cruise is that we're docking right here at the heart of everything. Literally, we're 5 minutes away, so if I even forget anything, I can actually literally just walk back right now and without feeling too tired. Today the ship is leaving at around 10, so since the morning walking tour for around an hour, we had a very leisurely breakfast, we went back for lunch, and now we're back out. So, and then we're going to go back for dinner, and let's take a look around and see what it's all about. And the thing we found out about Europe too, with the euro being the way it is, especially with the Canadian dollar, things here are expensive. Especially eating, everyday items, electronics, so yeah, no wonder they eat so little, just sandwiches and bread all the time. Fortunately, nothing close to the USA.
Just kept on singing clear and strong, strumming my pain with his fingers, singing my life with his words, killing me softly.
Remember how I said there's a skating rink available? It's actually quite enjoyable to be at a Christmas market in Europe and just looking at people just coming by, and unfortunately it's not too much time that you have at each country and city. But if this is your second time there, who knows, maybe if you planned it accordingly, you will have some time. So just to give you a sense of the Christmas market and the proximity, this is the market. This is one of the 6 market right here, and let's walk with me.
So,
This is, if we just walk down there, if you can see the end where the cruise line is, our boat is just next to it. So literally, depending on which Christmas market you're walking to, it can be 5 minutes, but even to the main church destination here, maybe 10-15 minutes at most. So it's literally steps away from the core of everything, and it only makes sense, right? We're traveling along the river, and back then, how did people transport goods and everything else? By water. So it only makes sense. So I'm going back now, and let's see where I bring you next. Before you know it, we are here. Shall we take a look at what dinner is going to have for us? So this is what dinner serves, another 5-course meal if you so desire. And again, if you want a detail on just food, I will have a detailed food episode, don't you worry. Before we conclude, how can I let you go without seeing the night mode of the Christmas market in Cologne in Germany? So, enjoy! So we decided to come take a look at the night view of the Christmas market, but unfortunately this is 9 right now, everything's closed except for this one market. But still, regardless, the scene is breathtaking, but as you can see, without the tours and everything, it's pretty dead around here. Until next time, everyone. See you on day 4.